Hiya, welcome back to the channel. This is Martin from Narrowboat Electrician. A few little jobs today, but this is just one of them. So I've done a lot of work on this boat actually. This got quite a decent lithium setup, and the customer's really happy with it. There's like 2 kilowatt solar on the roof. It's a wide beam. With the up on the roof are the bifacial panels, the LG panels that generate power, bounce off the roof, and another 30% on the way back out. So really good stuff. He's really impressed with them and stuff. One thing he's asked me to do, which we can accommodate, is the immersion heater that is the electrical heater in the calorifier. Like most boats, is wired up only to be active and live when it's plugged into shore power. So because we have so much battery power, we've got 510 amp hour lithiums on here. Because we've got so much power and he's got so much solar, he wants to be able to get some hot water at the flick of a switch. Okay, so there's a few tests I need to do. I know the inverter will handle it because it'll take you down here. There is a rather large Quattro there. It's a 5000 VA, so I'll put that in. I think the last, oh my god, it might be a couple of years ago now. So 5000 VA, so yeah, that'll do it. I just need to check how much current this is going to draw, or when I've swapped the wiring over, and then we're all happy and stuff with that. So normally they are a 1 kilowatt heater, which is 4 amps at the 240 side. It could be a 2 kilowatt heater, but I'm going to test that in a minute to see, so I can calculate what it is. I won't be able to tell by the heater because of where it is, where it's in the engine room. But yeah, let's crack on. I'm going to take this cover off and expose the cabling behind. So I want to move this from the shore power side to the inverter side so it works on both. Right. You know, maybe see as well that there's a colour GX screen that we put in a year or two ago, and that goes to a Servo GX that's mounted under the step where the inverter is as well. So quite a lot of money spent on this boat actually during that period, and I think he's talking about adding some more lithiums as well, maybe early next year. I see right now he's got his shore power disconnected anyway, which I think he normally does that because he's making the use of his solar charge during the day. Even on a really overcast day like today, it's popping in 440 watts. So yeah, I guess free power once you paid for everything. But this particular one is awkward, like they often all are. In fact, I think I'll take that door off. Well, they make the typical boat hard to get off. So I've had to take a few covers off so I can see what's going on. There is enough cable in there, so I've managed to pull out a bit of slack on here and on the breaker box. So just doing a bit of tracing out. This boat's actually got a plug at the stern and a plug at the bow, and obviously you select between each one, so the plug that's not being used isn't live. Hope that makes sense. So this is the feed to the immersion, so it comes straight off this rotary switch here, so straight off on the main side. So I need to get in there, disconnect all that, then I can run this directly then from an output here on the I would imagine on the breaker box here. So yeah, I'm gonna take that off, disconnect that. See how awkward it is. I wish boat electricians, builder electricians would actually give me some slack, so I could actually that's not too bad. I'm almost in there. That's gone on the floor. Well, that's not very sophisticated, is it? Look at that. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's just sweet. Sweet, that is. Here's our immersion, look. So it's on those spades there. So first of all, I'm just going to nip those out. I might have to recrimp those. Not a lot of room, not a lot of spare cable on any of that, look. Just pop that out. I'm just going to chop the earth for now. So all I've done is just chop those out. That allows me to pull this cable out. Not very impressed with that, but yeah. So this is the output to the inverter. So that's going down to the inverter from there. So I've pulled that cable out now, which is the supply to there. So I'll pull all that back together. Not ideal, but I think I'm just going to pop a bit of tape around those, just to give them a little bit of added insulation. Yeah, it's functional, but it's not perfect. It's not great, is it? That if you notice as well, these are all wired in red and black, so not to any kind of ISO standard. There works, but really they should be blue and brown. Well, I'm finished with that bit now, so that can go back in. Just pop that in there to hold that now. Okay, so this is the live in at the top here, 16 amp out, and that's the 10 amp out, I think, 2 MCBs. Now when they wire these in, like you've seen, it's straight off the incomer. That's relying on the RCD that's actually out on the bollard. So I don't want to connect that to the live side that's not protected by an RCD, because when he's not plugged into shore power, if I just connected it up to this live side here, then there'd be no RCD protection on this water heater, which we're not having that. So the only thing I can really do there is connect it to the 10 amp. Now I don't know what the 10 amp is actually for. No clues. Let's have a look at that. Luckily they've put a drawing in for me. So it's live in, neutral in, live out 16, live out 10, neutral out, and the rest of earth. So it's nothing, not a great deal of info. I guess it does. It depends where that's wired to. So there is a washing machine on board, which it may be for that, as a dedicated supply for the washing machine. And there's already, I mean, they could have wired this into a ring, because there's 2 lives, 2 neutrals. So they may have done a ring. I don't wire ring mains in generally. I put radials in, but it looks like this is done in probably a ring. And then you've got this live output, which is protected by a 10 amp breaker, which I'm not going to be able to find, I don't think, what that is. It's only a 1.5 cable. With a bit of looking around, this is actually a dedicated supply to the fridge. So ring main and fridge, separate one. Might be. It's actually, there's a supply actually behind that cooker and fridge. So the built-in oven is also off there. So it looks like it's a kitchen Well, that's on, so that's plugged into the ring main. It looks like it's this kitchen part here that is fed from that 10 amp. But what I'm going to do here, this is the live out 16 amp, neutral out 16 amp. So I'm actually going to put some links through to these two terminals down here. These two are spares. So I'm going to wire the immersion into there and just put some links on this side, so at least it keeps it the layout something like, so internal links, and then your outputs are all on this right hand side here. So I've got some, just dig in my pocket, I've got some bootlace ferrules here. These are designed to take two 2.5mm cables, so twist these together, crimp those on. Bootlace ferrules, there's a proper tool there for them, and then that's a really good connection. We don't put stranded cable into screw type terminals, because all that happens is these get sprayed out and you end up just screwing down on a couple of strands rather than the whole conductor. So we always put in some kind of bootlace ferrule, some kind of crimp, so so it's not just screwing down on these strands. Okay. It's a red one, that's no good. Okay, so you can see now those links put in, and again, black and red all the way on the 240 volt, no convention followed, pretty normal. But yeah, so I'll put those two in. There's a spare earth there as well, so I can now connect the immersion to that. So that's that looks all pretty good for me. Wire that in now to there, and we'll just do a test, see what current that's pulling. Okay, the screws are still got to be put back in, and also the screws back here. See now the inverter's on. You can see it on the Colour GX. So now it's wired up to the inverter. The immersion heater is wired up to the inverter. Let's get better English than that. So let's just pop that on there, so I can just hopefully see just how much current that's going to take. So I've just connected my ammeter up. I just got it on long scale. So we're now putting 4 amps, which equates to the 1 kilowatt, which I thought it probably was. So if you're not sure how amps, volts, kilowatt, watts, resistance works, check out some of my earlier videos that talk about Ohm's laws and stuff. So yeah, we can see the AC loads is sitting at 970 watt, approximately a kilowatt. 4 amps thereabouts, which again confirms that that is a 1 kilowatt heater. So that'll run quite happily. I mean, of the solar is actually producing 300 watts of that anyway, and there is some obviously coming from the batteries. But yeah, that's what the customer's looking for. Like I say, he's got a really good lithium setup on here, 550 amp hour lithium, so tons of power, tons of solar. So yeah, that's working fine. So yeah, that's job done. So all I need to do is put the covers on, screw everything down. All my tests are done. I'm just going to test earth continuity in the engine bay, but that will take a minute, just to make sure there's no earth on the tank. There will be, but I'm going to check it anyway. So yeah, hope that's been some kind of information for you. The way these immersions are wired, so they only come on when they're plugged into shore power. I've done a little bit of electricity to change that. Wouldn't do it on a normal boat that just had 4 leisure batteries. It would kill them. But with so much lithium on here, we're fine. So 4 amps. This customer now can switch on his electric hot water when he's off grid. He'll be an happy boy, knowing very well. So right, thanks for watching. Hope you got a little bit out of that. Typical jobs that I get up to. It's quite a simple fill-in job. Big solar job the rest of the week, so watch out for that. There's a big solar, not big, Narrowboat solar install coming up. 3 140 watt panels and a 150 35 sterling smart solar controller. So that's coming up at the end of the week. Or I'm doing it at the end of the week, whether I'll get the video on. Stay tuned for that. Lots of jobs coming up. I've got a full workload, probably 4 to 5 weeks of work. Some of those fairly big installations. One of them certainly is. Some lead carbon batteries to put on 2 boats, inverter, 3 or 4 solar jobs on the go. So plenty going on for this busy boy. Although I only work 3 days. Remember that. I only work 3 days. Live more, work less. That was our motto. Still is. Right, get all these screwed back together and I'm done. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you got something out of that. See you next time. Bye.